You ready for some advice? How about a deep dive? Every now and then I'll come across a title of something and it'll just kind of draw me in just enough that I really want to dedicate more time just specifically on this one thing rather than doing, you know, title after title and doing a rapid fire advice. So let's get right into it. This is a deep dive. We're going through this word for word. Posted by Gamjacat. Question: what do I do about my sister who has mental issues but keeps destroying our family in the things she does? So, that's what I read that drew me into this. So let's get right into it. This is my first time posting something on here. She is a 20-year-old female. And this will be a long post. Sorry in advance. I'll try to get through it fast. Well, not too fast. This is a deep dive. And sorry about the format. I'm on mobile. I'm on a desktop, so it kind of cancels out. So my sister, 22, so she's 2 years older than the OP. She's been dealing with depression and anxiety for a while. Depression and anxiety are very common. They're very common mental health issues. You usually have one along with the other. They're coexisting, typically. Um, so she's been dealing with depression and anxiety for a while. I don't even remember if she was ever professionally diagnosed or not. By the way she's acted for years now, I don't doubt that. So a lot of depression is undiagnosed. I don't want to get into percentages or anything like that, but there's a lot of depressed people out there. Um, if she's been like this for years, maybe we should look into convincing her into seeking out some kind of help, some kind of therapy. Therapy can go a long way. She almost died when she was 18, so that's about 4 years ago. And she was in the hospital for months, and she became a very different person. Um, there are catalyst events that happen in a person's life that just change them, and depending on what it was that she almost died from, I don't know if it was suicide and or if it was a car accident or something like that. Maybe we'll get into that, but traumatic experiences can really change people. I'm sure a lot of factors went into that, like her body completely changing and her skin being scarred and her losing her hair. Ooh, this got deep real fast. It got dark. And to top it off, her boyfriend at the time eventually started to make fun of her for all that. Well, Jesus. God, her boyfriend's an ass. He called her names and told her to kill herself. Okay, first of all, that is terrible. Damn. Told her to kill herself and all these things, and it was a very confusing time because she kept latching onto him even after even after him insulting the family. Um, yeah, there's she does need some in-depth therapy going on, figuring out why it was specifically him that she was latching onto. Was there something in her life that made her feel as though he was the only one? Maybe there's more family issues going on than we know about yet. It made me resent her a lot that she would call him in our backyard and be screaming and begging him to stop being mean to her and yell at him about talking to other girls or something like that. So okay, first there's definitely something wrong with her, mentally, and don't blame her for that. Again, get her some help. You got to start there. It has to be step one. There has to be some kind of therapy. Maybe kind of start planting the seeds for that. Find some places. Connect with her. Know and let her know that you're there for her now. Like, it seems like she really needs it now. She wouldn't listen to me or my mom. She would like turn on us when we begged her to come inside, so the whole neighborhood wouldn't hear her screaming anymore. Oh, ouch. And think something was wrong and call the cops. She would harm herself in front of us too whenever we tried to take her off the phone or gave her tough love. Um, Tough love is definitely not the answer for this case. Um, yeah. Once she started to hit me whenever I said something she didn't want to hear. When we argued about all that she did, I stopped trying to help her. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna say that I get it. I don't blame you. It's hard when you're offering someone that you care about, a family member, a loved one, whatever. When you're offering help and they just don't take it, they're combative, whatever it is. They don't want to hear it. And in your case, she's physically taking swings at you. I get it. It's not your fault. It's not her fault. Something else has happened. She would say horrible things to my mom. My mom, our mom. She would say horrible things to my mom that were personal attacks against her. And that was just the end of it for me because I'm really protective of my mom. Um, your verbiage kind of makes me wonder if you guys have two different dads. You also haven't mentioned your dad yet. So she was really protective of her mom because she's so sweet and would do absolutely anything for us and does not deserve any disrespect from my sister. My mom tried to be really understanding of my sister and her emotional well being because of her mental state and how hard things were for her after her stay in the hospital and things were with her ex boyfriend. I'm starting to see what they originally meant when they said they were on mobile and sorry for the format. So her mom gave her a lot of slack with her not getting a job or even doing community college classes because for a couple years after the hospital, she still had a lot of urgent care visits and was sick a lot. Again, that's not her fault, um, but definitely, trying to get her out into the community, get her doing something so that she's not sitting around. I know that if she's disfigured like you've described, losing her hair, scarred skin, whatever the accident was, it's gonna be tough, but you gotta keep at it. But now it's like 4 years after she was in the hospital. My sister has still not gotten a job. She's barely taking classes at the community college. She's crashed our family car multiple times without paying anything back. My parents, both of them, didn't want to let her drive anymore, but my sister would be guilting my mom and say that being in the house is not being able to drive. Or being in the house and not being able to drive to see friends makes her crazy and suicidal. Um, your mom is codependent. Your mom is letting this happen. So, right there, your mom herself needs some therapy to figure out um, what would be how she can get from where she is now with her daughter, your sister, um, to a more healthy relationship between a mother and her adult child. We have tried to get her into therapy, but it seems to be really hard and long wait lists for them to see her, and the ones she had seen she doesn't like. Um, she's not gonna like any of them. She's gonna think that there's something wrong with her, and she's immediately gonna be against it. Keep at it though. You're kind of planting the seeds now, so that when she does see that there's definitely help that she needs to have, she's gonna remember all of the stuff that you've done for her. She's gonna remember these places, and she's gonna be equipped to go into this on day one with more than anything she has right now. Keep at it. Don't give up. Keep making those suggestions. Keep planting those seeds. Keep at it. My sister doesn't even seem to put an effort to find one, and instead just tells my mom how much she needs to see one. So one thing in addiction recovery is that somebody who's addicted to drugs, alcohol, whatever, on average, it takes about 7 trips to a rehab facility before it finally takes, if you will. They'll go through rehab facilities like 6 times, and they'll be out using again. They'll fail at 6 times. It's not until around the 7th time, on average, again, that they actually begin to abstain from whatever their drug of choice is. Again, keep at it. It's going to take a while, but you will get there. Persistence. The issues that are present nowadays with my sister is her and her new boyfriend. So I'm already against this just based on what her old boyfriend was like. My guess is this new boyfriend probably isn't any better than the first one was. The day she crashed her car last week, she was fighting with her boyfriend. And there you have it. When she finally came home, she barely apologized to my mom. Again, very possessive. It's your mom. It's not our mom. It's your mom. She barely apologized to my mom. And when my mom started to get mad at her, my sister gets defensive and says, "This is why I can never come to you when I mess up." Yeah, which is manipulating as heck, because to me, because my mom is understanding. So there's I think there could be a little confirmation bias going on here. You really care about your mom, and not both of your moms, but you care about your mom, and to you it kind of sounds like she could do nothing wrong, and it's making you see her from that point of view. You need to take a step back and really fully analyze this. Now, it's possible the way that you have presented this is exactly as it is. But definitely try to remove yourself from the situation and see how somebody on the outside of your family would view this if they were looking in. Okay. So, and she isn't even supposed to be driving out right now because we're in quarantine. Yeah, the whole world's in quarantine. That's not even something that is specific to you. That's something that, like, she shouldn't be able to complain about that, because that's everybody right now. Unless you're essential. Anyways, she came home And that night, she started fighting with her boyfriend and started doing all the same things she used to do with her ex, like screaming and crying on the phone loudly and not caring about her family or our neighbors hearing it. Um, so life happens in cycles more often than not. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if this new boyfriend literally is the exact same as her ex. It destroyed me that the same things that happened years ago are happening now. So, why is it affecting you this much? Um, Also, like I just said, things happen in cycles. It's not uncommon for um, a young girl who's physically abused by her father to end up growing up and finding another man who will abuse her or her kids or whatever. Um, it's more common than you'd think. Try not to look at it as this is something that is happening to you because of what she's doing. This isn't about you. This is about her. We told her she shouldn't be in a relationship because she went straight to her ex, or she went straight from her ex to her new boyfriend. So that is also very unhealthy, as you bounce around from one relationship to the next, and before one even ends, um, you've already got your next relationship lined up, and if you don't, it's already started within like 2 or 3 days. That's very unhealthy. So she's in no state to be in a relationship because she has major insecurity and emotional issues and should just focus on herself. Yes, again, therapy. Keep working at it. It's not going to happen overnight. I won't get into details. Seems to be hypersexual in the things she does and says to other guys, even while dating someone. Again, nothing happens as its own thing. Everything is all interconnected. Figure out what's wrong with her. Figure out what's wrong with you. Figure out what's wrong with your mom. Um, where's your dad? Figure out what's wrong with him. If there's any other siblings, figure out what's wrong with them. There's something wrong with everybody. Therapy. Oh, let's see. I just don't even know what to think or do. Me and my sister barely talk anymore. I've forgotten what it was like to have her be my very best friend in the world, and it hurts. I get it. Again, their catalyst events can really change somebody. Traumatic accidents, it can be devastating. My mom is at a loss. Again, my mom. She cries every time something happens, and cries to me saying she doesn't know what she did wrong with raising my sister. She knows my sister manipulates her with guilting her sometimes, and she's so mad at my sister for everything she puts us through. But I know she's scared to kick her out or cut her off because of how unstable my sister can be. Any advice would be greatly appreciated, and I know this might be a confusing post. I might have missed important information. Thanks for any help, and thanks for reading. Um, Again, keep planting those seeds, keep pushing therapy, keep pushing rehab facilities, maybe see a psychiatrist, maybe get an actual diagnosis for depression, anxiety, whatever else is going on. Keep at it, don't give up. This is family. Uh, Maybe one day, the three of you, your mom, and your sister, can all be sitting around talking about everything going on in your lives right now as just a memory. But yeah, keep at it. Don't give up. This is family. And that's all I got for you right now. Good luck.